UFC Seattle. I got a pick and a prediction for every single fight on the card in less than 2 minutes. This is the quick picks video. How we doing, everybody? My name is Young Pasty, aka the White Boy Wonder, and I am here today to give you a pick, a prediction, every single fight, less than 2 minutes, no fluff, no BS, straight to the point with my pick, my thoughts, and the prediction. Now, as we always do, we got a recap last week. UFC London, pulling the results up here right now, and you guys see it. You see lots of green, right? 12-1 on the picks last week. I'm adding Shamrock to my shit list, right? And the shit list includes, of 2026 at least, Bruno Brasil, Umar Sy, and now you, Shamrock, okay? The three of you have cost me a perfect card. And I don't know what made me pick him. The push at the weigh-ins, training with Patty, all the smack talk. Man, you sucked out there, bro. And I should have took note from his first fight. I'm like, man, I hope he doesn't come out here and do the same stuff he did in the first fight. And look what he did. Low volume, 8 shots, looked like crap. So, on to other fights, though. I mean, our most entertaining fight of the card was probably Mason Jones versus Axel Solo, right? Going back and forth. It was a pretty fun fight. The Wood versus Kita fight was decent, right? Some kind of like high-level technical striking. MVP fight sucked. Ewo sent Austin Lane packing in 30 seconds. It was kind of comical. Luke Riley with a fun decision. And then lastly, this guy. I want to go over this guy. It's the Evolov decision. Robbery, in my opinion. I don't care how the later rounds went. Even, I thought Murphy won the earlier rounds, and then Evolov getting a point taken away from him. Like, I was sitting there like, oh my gosh, this is not going to go well. And a robbery goes my way this time. A robbery goes my way, so I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it, all right? Because it helped our bets, helped our picks. So you see it, 12-1 in the picks, and we only had one loss last week. That's back-to-back weeks with only one loss on the card. We're going to repeat success this week. Let's get that 1 and turn into an O and go perfect on the card for UFC Seattle. Oh, man. Lots of fun fights. And we'll get to it here with our main event, all right? We have Israel Adesanya coming back, taking on Joe Pyfer. Odds on the fight here. We got minus 135 for Izzy. Plus 114 for Joe Pyfer. Timer starts in 3, 2, 1. Ooh, my pick for this fight, guys. I'm going with Joe Pyfer. I'm going with the younger guy. All right. I think Izzy's washed at this point. You can call him Chinny Adesanya. All right. Dude's 1-4 in the last 5. 36 years old. Finished in 3 of those fights. Beat the hell up for 5 rounds versus Sean Strickland. His only win was a comeback win versus Poatan, which if he didn't hit him with that one fight-altering shot, he would have lost, in my opinion. So I'm low on Adesanya. That's what I'm trying to say. And why I'm picking Joe Pyfer, I think he can win this fight in 2 different ways, all right? Here's where he is live to win this fight. First is by KO, all right? Pyfer's got power. Pyfer got some heavy power. We've seen him lay some people out, okay? And if he finds that shot over Izzy, which he can knock out Izzy. For sure. We've seen people knock out Izzy. And I don't think that Pyfer's an exception to that. So next, grappling. And really, this is where I think Joe Pyfer's going to shine. I think that he can mix in grappling, take down Izzy, and ultimately find a submission. Find a rear naked choke. Take that long neck of Izzy. I think he can do it. I think people are not going to be expecting it too much. I don't know. I haven't looked at really anybody else's opinions, right? I'm just basing off of my research. I don't look at anybody else's stuff before I make these picks videos, by the way. I do my own research, put my stuff out. That way I'm not, taking things from other people. It's my own fresh mind and my fresh thoughts. But I think Joe Pyfer has a massive grappling advantage. I think he should use it. I think his coach, Dean Thomas, will tell him to freaking use it, right? He's seen, not thousands, he's seen most of Izzy's fights, right? Joe Pyfer's not a long time. He's a student of the game, right? He's training with a long time coach in Dean Thomas there. So I think he can get the grappling going, and I think he's going to sub Adesanya in the 3rd or 4th round. Pyfer by submission. Let's go. All right, moving on to our next fight. We got Grasso taking on Maycee Barber. Odds in the fight plus 150 for Grasso, minus 180 for Maycee Barber. Timer starts in 3, 2, 1. My pick for the fight is Maycee Barber. I think she's leveled up a lot since the last fight. This is a rematch between these ladies, okay? They fought maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and now they're fighting again. Grasso won the first fight, by the way. So now I think Grasso's going to find more success in this fight compared to her last fight. She fought Natalia Silva there. Maycee's going to be really, more willing to exchange with her, right? Grasso couldn't track down Silva. That's not going to be an issue in this fight. And, if people are low on Grasso, don't be, okay? Natalia Silva, just nobody can track that girl down. So I thought Grasso could cut off the corner. She couldn't. I actually backed Grasso in that last fight here. Now I'm picking against her in Maycee Barber because Grasso, she has problems with girls that have big power, explosive, physical, mix in takedowns, right? We saw Shevchenko hold Grasso down at times, and she really just didn't have an answer. So people who are able to secure takedowns and hold Grasso down, they find success. Now, how much is Maycee going to implement that type of style? I don't know, right? She usually doesn't come with a grappling heavy approach. She likes to brawl and throw hands. So, again, let's just not forget who Grasso is. Good boxing, former champ, has her own submission wins in the past too, so she's no slouch on the mat. But her get-up game really isn't the best. Her takedown defense really isn't, quite the best either. Again, I think Maycee's kind of leveled up from fight to fight to fight. I know she's only fighting oldies. Like, you look at Maycee Barber's career, the girl's only fighting old girls. But so we'll see. We'll see. It should be a fun fight. I'm going to roll with Maycee Barber by decision. That's my official pick for this co-main event. Let's go. All right, moving on to our next fight. We got Michael Chiesa taking on Niko Price. Michael Chiesa's retirement fight. He's hanging up the gloves. And they're giving him a Niko Price. Odds in the fight, minus 575 for Mike Chiesa. Plus 425 for Niko Price. Timer starts in 3, 2, 1. My pick for the fight's Michael Chiesa. Somehow, some way, he's going to find a submission. He's going to win the fight. He's going to lay his gloves down. He's going to ride a horse right into the sunset, okay? He's going to get that happy ending that MMA fighters never get. Because Niko Price is beyond wash at this point, all right? He's showing up for that cash. And I don't blame him, dude. He's got like 12 kids. You got to feed your kids. I can't hate, right? Show up, get knocked out, get thousands of dollars, right? But Niko Price is not a sliver of what he even ever used to be, okay? Chiesa's going to take down Niko Price with ease. He's going to find a rear naked choke, and it's going to look easy. It's probably going to be in the first or second round. I'm not going to get too deep into it. I mean, are we really betting on Niko Price? Are we really picking Niko Price? Not a lot of people are going to be, and if you are, you got balls, and they must be huge, because there's no way in hell I'm picking Niko Price. I don't see him finding a way to win. He has a puncher's chance. Everybody's got a puncher's chance, but Chiesa's too skilled. He's going to take Niko Price down. Rear naked choke. Chiesa by submission. That's my official pick. Let's go. Moving on to our next fight. We got Julian Erosa taking on Lorraine Douglas. Odds in the fight plus 260 for Erosa, minus 325 for Douglas. Timer starts in 3, 2, 1. My pick for the fight, I'm going with Lorraine Douglas, and I'm with a little bit of hesitancy, okay? Now, I watched Lorraine Douglas's past fights, right? He's been battle tested, okay? Suffered some losses, had some good wins, has some comeback moments, has great kicks, has decent power, all right? He's going to be stalking down Erosa like a hawk in this fight. He generally controls the center of the octagon. Takedown defense pretty solid in his past few fights, but he's been subbed in the past, okay? And my fear is the classic Erosa sub. Douglas got subbed up by Chepe back in the past. A couple of his other losses are by submission too, I believe. Got knocked out as well. Douglas could throw out a kick and just get caught up with a single leg takedown by Erosa and then end up on the ground. I mean, Erosa's a proven vet, all right? Douglas making his UFC debut. We just saw last week what can happen with a UFC debut with Curtis Gamble, right? So now Erosa, you can't sit there and strike with this guy. I'll tell you that. He'll get knocked the hell out. Erosa's a takedown or bust, in my opinion. And Erosa tends to lose in the first round, all right? And Douglas got some nasty power. But my thing is with Douglas, he's not coming out fiery red hot, right? He usually comes out a little bit patient, getting his reads and such, and then turns up in the second later in the second or third round. So I could see Douglas getting a finish maybe in the second or third. I don't think he gets a KO in the first. He just got to avoid those takedowns. But in his past few fights, Douglas has shown he can fend people off with the takedowns, and he's got a couple notable wins. If you're actually if you're asking me, who did he freaking beat here? I got to pull it up really quick because the timer's rolling down. He beat Javier Reyes right recently, and we seen him just beat what's his face, Silva Andrade. So yeah, I'll take Douglas. I'll take him by KO, probably in the second or third, and that's my official pick. Let's go. Moving on to our next fight, we have Mansur Abdul Malik taking on Yousri Belgari. Odds in the fight -122 for Mansur Abdul Malik, +102 for Yousri Belgari. Timer starts in 3, 2, 1. My pick for this fight, I am going with Mansur Abdul Malik. This is this guy's first fight in the UFC. In my opinion, if you're asking me, they fed him some scrubs, bro. Even on Dana White Contender Series. Listen to this. Wes Schultz, Dusko Todorovic, Nick Klein, Cody Brundage, Antonio Trocoli. All trash. Now, Yousri Belgari at least beat Bakoyev, but no, I'm just being honest here. That was just due to a physical size advantage, man. The reach and height advantage was way too much. Bakoyev was just a little tiny man out there compared to this guy. But Yousri Belgari is not going to have too much of a height or reach advantage over Mansur. Mansur's a pretty dang good guy. And I think he's going to exploit the big hole in Yousri Belgari's game, the grappling. Okay? We saw Tulio beat Yousri Belgari. We saw Tulio find success with takedowns and on the clinch, and actually find lots of decent shots on Yousri Belgari with the aggression that he has. And Mansur has a nice wrestling background, wrestled at the University of Maryland. I think he can take down Yousri. I think he can hold him on the ground. And Mansur's patient, all right? We've seen it. He's patient. He won't force it. Good fighter IQ. Striking and movement are pretty good, and I think he can just stick and move with ease. So I'm just getting that flow state, right? And like I said, Mansur's not small. And he's only 2 inches smaller. So Yousri's a big guy. He's a giant for this division, but it's not going to be too much of an advantage in this particular fight. Yousri has good kickboxing, 3-round cardio. He's coming off a solid win, but man, this is MMA, all right? Mansur should go for takedowns, clinch, find success in the wrestling, sticking and moving. I think Mansur's going to win and shine and show people he's not a bum. Mansur by decision is my official pick. Let's go. All right, moving on to the last fight on the main card. We got Terrence McKinney taking on Kyle Nelson. Odds in the fight here, we have -170 for McKinney, +142 for Nelson. Timer starts in 3, 2, 1. My pick for this fight, I'm going with Terrence McKinney. And as we all know, this dude's a first round or bust. This guy cannot fight a whole 15 minutes. No offense, and he knows it too. That's just his style. Live by the sword, die by the sword, and it's given him mixed results here in the UFC. Now, I think he can finish Kyle Nelson in the first round. I think he can club and summon him, right? Unless Kyle Nelson gets a super early takedown and secures top position. It's hard to get this maniac of Terrence McKinney off of you, man. Immense pressure, just constantly throwing strikes. He doesn't care. He's exerting all his energy in the first round to get a finish on you. So, Nelson should just go for a takedown immediately, hold McKinney down. But I don't think he's going to be able to do it. I just think that McKinney is too much. He's going to overwhelm him with shots, and Kyle Nelson is going to be choked up on the ground. So club and sub is my prediction for this fight. Terrence McKinney by submission in the first round. Let's go. Our featured prelim, we have Ignacio Bahamondes taking on Tafik Musayev. Odds on the fight -298 for Bahamondes, +240 for Musayev. Timer starts in 3, 2, 1. My pick for the fight, I'm going with Ignacio Bahamondes. I think it's a nice get back spot for him, man. He's fighting the poor man's version of Rafael Fiziev now, right? In all seriousness, though, aging Musayev at 36, it's a decent matchup for him, right? Now, Tafik, he's got some nice kicks, slick movement, decent power, and don't hold his last loss against him. Really don't. Oralbai's a killer, and he basically weight bullied himself to a win. He was pulling some weight cut antics that I wasn't a fan of, and ultimately he had a weight advantage over Tafik. So, but I think he's going to have a problem with the range of Bahamondes. Okay, and I know Fiziev was able to close distance, eliminated the reach advantage last time. But I have a tough time seeing Musayev do that. Like, he has this kind of explosive style. He's throwing kicks at range. He's not, really fighting in tight, right, in the pocket. Ignacio's training at a good gym. He can mix in a lot of aspects of MMA. And I think he comes with a better game plan here, all right? And he's beating some killers, man. Like, some way more violent people than Tafik Musayev. Torres, Jalen Turner. Finish him the first round, right? The people he's lost to are just very technical. Rafael Fiziev, Ludovic Klein. I'm not going to sit up here and rank Tafik Musayev as this kind of technical striker to the level of Rafael Fiziev and Ludovic Klein. So I think Ignacio Bahamondes can finish this fight. I think he can. I think he can get a late finish, round 2, round 3. So we're going to go with Ignacio Bahamondes by KO. That's my official pick. Let's go. Moving on to our next fight, we got Chase Hooper taking on Lance Gibson Jr. Odds, minus 270 for Hooper, plus 220 for Gibson Jr. Timer starts in 3, 2, 1. My pick for the fight. I'm going with Chase Hooper. He will probably win this by submission. This man's going to either out-grapple Gibson or get knocked the heck out, right? This Chase Hooper guy has skin and bones, no body mass. And that's why he got KO'd by Fernandes. And also, he went out there with a game plan to just straight up strike with Fernandes, which is stupid. All right, that's not your game at all. You thrive with the grappling. You like getting people to the ground. Your striking is really not the best, right? Lance Gibson has a little bit of power. Compared to Fernandes, maybe less. I'd probably say he is the better striker. Takedown or bust for Chase Hooper, right? So yeah, Chase Hooper by submission. Lance Gibson by KO. Maybe a Chase Hooper by decision if he just rides and holds Gibson down on the mat and is unsuccessful with the submissions. But I think he can find one. I think he's upset with his last performance and realizes I'm not a striker. And if he goes out there and does that dumb shit again, then I'm not picking him ever again. So Chase Hooper by submission. That's my official pick for this fight. He's a takedown or bust. He's takedown or bust, all right? So if you don't believe in the takedowns, I'd say side with Lance Gibson Jr. So let's go. Moving on to our next fight, we got Marcin Tybura taking on Tyrell Fortune. Odds in the fight plus 110 for Tybura, minus 130 for Fortune. Timer starts in 3, 2, 1. My pick for this fight, I am rolling with Tyrell Fortune. This fight's kind of a coin flip fight to me. I almost did flip a coin to determine my pick here. Really, this kind of depends on how bad Tybura's chin is, because that last fight he had, got smoked by Delia, and he looked awful. I'm like, what the hell was I even looking at? Now, Tyrell's making his UFC debut. It might be the Bellator curse, right? Because he fought over there in Bellator, fought some bums in Bellator, okay? Long-time fighter, though, okay? He's been fighting for a long time. Looks like he has heavy power and decent wrestling skills, so I assume he can take out Tybura, right? Get him to the mat, get some ground and pound, maybe find a good shot on the feet. Again, it's really a toss-up, though, because even though Tybura seemed to look bad in that last fight, prior to that, wasn't looking too terrible. Beat Mick Parkin, beat some other people, so, and, Tybura, he'll pull one out of his ass when you don't expect it, you know what I mean? So, again, it's a toss-up fight for me. Coin flip fight. I'm going with Tyrell Fortune. I think he's the more powerful fighter. I think that, that last performance by Tybura was really just putting me off. So, yeah. Fortune by KO. That's my official pick. Let's go. Moving on to our next fight, we got Casey Oneil taking on Gabriela Fernandes. Odds in the fight, plus 105 for Oneil. Minus 125 for Fernandes. Timer starts in 3, 2, 1. My pick for this fight. Yeah, I'm going Gabriela Fernandes. All right, I cannot deny the success in her wins. This girl took out Carly, Judice, Conway, two of the deadliest in the division here. Now, she's lost her UFC fights by getting out-grappled. Is Casey Oneil going to out-grapple Gabriela Fernandes? Man, I don't think so. I think Gabriela Fernandes can keep it on the feet. I think she can she's pretty long, right? I think she can mix it up with the striking and avoid the takedowns from Casey Oneil if she's going to even try and do that, right? And I think Fernandes is going to tune her up, man. I think Fernandes has got this, bro. Again, I'm not going to deny the success. I'm not going to deny the wins. Now, if I'm being completely honest, guys, 100%, I don't really give a fuck about this fight. I don't. I really don't. I might look at it like on the betting end of things, but like this really has no importance to me. Gabriel Fernandes by decision, I guess. That's my official pick. But as you can see, I'm not too interested in this fight. Let's go. Next fight, we got Navajo Stirling taking on Bruno Lopes. Odds on the fight, we got minus 600 for Navajo Stirling, plus 440 for Bruno Lopes. Timer starts in 3, 2, 1. My pick for the fight, I'm going with Navajo Stirling. But I mean, can this man fight up in competition? Can this man fight up? Are we still trying to build this guy up? Like, find some bums, dude. I mean, he beat Bellato, but like that's kind of his best win, really. Lopes got KO'd in his last 2 losses, and I mean, bro, he got KO'd by Brenson Ribeiro. That is an awful look. And then you got KO'd by, kind of an older, aging Dustin Jacoby, and quick too. So everyone's probably thought is that Navajo Stirling is going to knock out Bruno Lopes in the first round, but man, I don't know. I don't really know. I see Bruno Lopes, trying to stall a lot, clinching up on the fence, maybe trying to get a takedown. Now Stirling does have decent takedown defense, strong hips, probably can avoid that. Minus 600 is pretty crazy, but he's usually a heavy favorite and he hasn't lost, right? I just don't think he's going to get that first round KO like Bruno Lopes is losing by. I don't, because Stirling is, I don't know. Maybe the power was overrated. A little too hyped up, right? I think he wins by decision. Navajo Stirling by decision. He really needs to put out an impressive performance if he's going to try to climb up in these ranking here, because if you're just going to keep getting decision wins like this, UFC's not going to be doing you any favors. So he really needs to finish here. If he gets in the first round, that'd be great. But, I mean, I'm not banking on it. Sterling by decision. That's my official pick for this fight. Let's go. Moving on to our next fight, we got Ricky Simón, hometown guy, taking on Adrian Yanez. Odds on the fight here, minus 155 for Simón, plus 130 for Yanez. Timer starts in 3, 2, 1. My pick for this fight, I'm going with Adrian Yanez, man. I'm actually surprised to see Ricky Simón as a favorite here. I'm not a fan of his last 2 performances. Okay, I feel like Ricky Simón just left a lot out there in the fight for the taking, right? Like he just got a little tired at the end, at points, and here's the thing: going distance with Cameron Smotherman, and the way you did and didn't get a finish, and you had all these advantages over him, not really a good look to me. Yanez would be good competition. Now he's not the most active. He's not really that old. I don't know why people are down on Adrian Yanez. No, he got knocked out by a few people, Rob Font, someone else as well. But, man, I think he can style on Ricky Simón. I think he can eat him up. I think he can jab. I think he can box. I think he can strike. Maybe not, get up close in the pocket, right? That's where Ricky Simón thrives. But avoid the wrestling. Avoid the takedowns. Because Ricky Simón's trying to mix that in, right? If he's not finding success with the striking, he'll just go for the clinch and start grappling and wrestling. So I think people are overlooking Yanez undeservingly. Give me Adrian Yanez. Give me by decision. I'm taking the underdog here. That's my official pick for this fight. Let's go. Moving on to the first fight of the night and the last fight we're breaking down. We got Alexia Thainara taking on Bruna Brasil. Odds in the fight are wide. Minus 700 for Thainara, plus 500 for Bruna Brasil. Timer starts in 3, 2, 1. My pick for this fight, I'm going with Alexia Thainara. Also, I'd like to get this out of the way. Fuck you, Bruna Brasil. All right, you cost me a perfect card the other week, and I'm pissed at you. Anyway, I've liked Alexia Thainara since her Dana White Contender Series fight. I mean, she's physical. She's got power. She's got explosiveness. She's got energy. She's always excited and happy to be in there. She's going to mess up Bruna Brasil. She is going to get a finish in this fight. I think she's going to take down Bruna Brasil. I think she's going to beat her up on the mat. KO or sub or live. I think the KO is probably a better number betting-wise. But pick-wise, just straight up pick, I'm taking Alexia Thainara. I hope she beats the crap out of Bruna Brasil. All right? And that'll be my sweet little revenge for Bruna Brasil ruining my perfect card the other week. So, Thainara by KO, that's my official pick. Let's go. All right, guys. A pick, prediction for every single fight on the card in less than 2 minutes, as promised. If you made it this far, thank you so much. Appreciate your support. Click that subscribe button if you haven't done that yet. We're hot. We're getting hot around here, guys. 12-1 on the picks last week, 13-1 prior to that. I mean, you could only ask for a perfect card, and that's pretty dang hard to do, but we're going to do it this week. All right, at UFC Seattle. I got a good faith. I got a good feeling about it. And yeah, let's have a good week, guys. All right, Young Pasty, the White Boy Wonder, out. Let's go.